Alright, today I'm obviously reviewing the DJI Osmo Action 3, and this is actually the second camera, the second Osmo Action 3 that I've bought, and there's a reason for that I'll explain in this video. So it's not really an unboxing because I've kind of already unboxed it, as you can see. But this, let me just get the camera out of this case and show you exactly. Oh, need to take this one out first. Okay, so firstly let me just show you what you actually get, and then I'm going to explain why this camera is by far, in my opinion, the best action camera that you can get right now in 2023, and probably for a long time onwards, unless, I don't know, unless GoPro up their game. So firstly, that's the camera, as you can see. Really nice. It's quite small. That's just a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger than the GoPro. Not sure. Okay, so firstly, in the box, what you get is, this is in the adventure kit, right? So you get this, which is a charging bank for the batteries. It comes with 3 batteries. One of them's in the camera. You press the button, the lights show you, if the batteries are charged or not. Same style batteries as the GoPro, so the little tag that you pull. These tags, I know they look weak, but they've never, in my experience, they've never broken. Anyway, so you put the batteries in here. This is charged by USB-C, and this can actually act as a power bank as well. So if you have all the batteries in here, you can charge your phone from this or whatever you want. It's not that heavy. I mean, considering you get 3 batteries. Each battery, by the way, these are the extreme batteries. They last about an hour and a half. So yeah, very good. Next, you get this little case, as you can see here. This is just like a protective case, but it also has an extra clip mount. So as you may or may not know, the Osmo Action uses these magnetic clipping mounts that you can see here. And so what happens is they snap into place magnetically, and then once they're in, they also kind of clip in, well, let me just show you. They clip in with these little clamps as well, to give it an extra secure grip. And once it's on, like, you literally can't move it. And then you just gently squeeze these things, and then the magnet just pulls off. So anyway, yes, that's why this case is here, because it has an extra mount. Then you get this thing, like, I think this is a car mount to stick on your glass on your car or something flat. I don't really use this. So you get 2 of these, 2 of the magnetic GoPro style mounts, and then you get a spare rubber ring. This is, I guess, kind of like a protector for the edge of this thing, so you get a spare one of those. You then also get a little 2 of these GoPro style screw things to attach it to stuff. And then in here, I think this is just like warranty stuff. And then in this little section here is the actual, I haven't opened it because, and I'm going to get onto why I haven't opened it yet in a minute, but this is their selfie stick, long selfie stick. So it has just a thread mount on the bottom. It can extend too far for me to show you in this footage, but it's like almost 2 meters. It really does extend quite, literally like to the length of a snooker cue, pool cue. Okay, it's a little bit heavy, and the reason that I don't use this myself is because I'm using what you can maybe see the bottom of here, and that is the PigTech mini tripod. It extends about 40 centimeters. It's much lighter, and it includes a tripod at the bottom. So that's what I use. Obviously, if you're doing action stuff, extreme sports, then maybe you need the longer reach. Yeah, so that's what you get. And then this is the camera. Let me just turn it on and show you how that looks. Yeah, so as you can see, it's on. I don't know if I can show you like the RockSteady stabilizer. If I shake it around a bit, you see that the footage, the image on the screen doesn't actually move, and that's because the stabilization is really good. But if you move it slowly, it does. I'm going to obviously put some test footage in this video. Okay, so now let's get on to the more detailed review. In my opinion, this is the best action camera because the stabilization is as good, if not better, than GoPro, but the battery life, the performance, how reliable it is significantly better than anything else, especially GoPro. I have used and returned about 3 GoPros now, the newest ones, and they just crash. They just like freeze up, overheat, they crash, they stop filming in 4K after about 10 or 20 minutes because they're overheating. This does not do that. This doesn't overheat at all, even at 4K, until the battery dies. It can also operate in minus 20 degrees. It's crazy, like the amount of stuff they've packed into this. The reason I had to return one of these is because, so I got it off Amazon, and as you may or may not know, there's this kind of like focus issue. So with some of them, what happened is, at the factory, apparently they didn't screw the lens, or they didn't screw the lens quite the right distance away from the sensor. And people have like taken these apart and shown that. And so what happens is everything is slightly out of focus with some of these cameras. So, and not everything, but specifically when you hold it in kind of selfie mode, and you, as you know, most of us do, as I do, you hold it about 40, 50 centimeters away from yourself, you need to be in focus. But in the camera I had from Amazon, I was not in focus, I was blurry, while the background was really sharp. Everything else worked, like stabilization and stuff, but obviously the focus is like one of the main things a camera should do. And so I had to return it. But I loved it so much, despite that, I went out and bought another one. I bought this one from a physical store near me, or near where I was at the time. And that one is the one you're seeing now, which does not have the focus issue. And so, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, you might get the one with the focus problem, you might not. But in my opinion, there is no alternative. This is the best camera, the best stabilized action camera on the market. So yeah, you might get unlucky and get one of the old batch. But if you do, no problem. Just, do the test as soon as you get it, return it, get another one. Because in my opinion, it's so worth it. Now I have one that does not have the focus issue. And as I'll show you in the test footage, it's absolutely amazing. Like I can't fault it. There's no, nothing I could ask for to be better, except the usual stuff of like, make it a bit smaller, make it a bit lighter. But, it's great. Anyway, so I'll just continue a little bit with the review here. USB-C port in there. And it's waterproof, by the way, without a case. So up to 16 meters, you can go underwater, and it's waterproof, it works. This is the battery compartment, SD slot. I mean, this stuff is pretty basic. You probably know this. Unless this is the first review video you're watching, in which case you don't know that. Okay, so that's the battery compartment. And then I'll take you through some of the settings, shall I? So this is kind of like let me try and get a good angle for you there. All right, this is the menu. So if you tap the battery, you see the percentage. Settings, you have all this stuff here. In my opinion, just leave this stuff as the default. Okay, so you have like auto white balance, wide field of view, normal color, what's that? Enhanced image quality, yeah, and then exposure. And then with audio, I have usually noise reduction on, stereo, and then directional I have off, because sometimes I'm talking from behind the camera, sometimes I'm, pointing the camera towards me. Okay, so this is how you view the clips that you've previously recorded. Let me just get that to the menu. You can see here, you can browse the clips, play them, which is quite cool. This is the different modes. So you have photo mode, although you would never use photo mode on an action camera. HDR, not recommended, not needed. Slow motion and time lapse. If you go on time lapse, it actually is there's actually two things. So you can do time lapse and you can do hyperlapse. Just 1 second. Hyperlapse. Hyperlapse is for when you're moving. So that's when you get those crazy shots of people kind of walking around like a park or something, and it just speeds up the shot and it looks like you're kind of flying. And you can choose like the different speeds, different qualities. I mean, you can customize everything. Time lapse, sunset, clouds, whatever you want to do. That's time lapse mode. Slow motion, video. I mainly use it for video. And in here you have the different settings. Okay, so this is the quality, frame rate underneath. It's pretty self-explanatory, and the menu is really easy to navigate. So you have here all the way up to 4K at 4:3 or 16:9. Frame rate all the way up to 240 on 1080p, and then as you change the resolution, the frame rate, the max frame rate you can get goes down. So 2.7 you can get 120 frames, 4K 60. Okay, but in my opinion, all you need, well, for most YouTube videos, you just need 1080p at 30. I mean, it looks great. The footage looks really good, but if you want to have it a bit crisper, then maybe 2.7. 30. The stabilization you have is basically, well, there's three main options. You have basically RockSteady, which is where you can move the camera anywhere, but it stabilizes it. And then you have RockSteady Plus, which is the new update. I haven't actually tested that yet, but I will. Horizon balancing 45 degrees. This basically keeps the horizon, despite which direction you turn the camera in. I'll show you a test footage of that when I go for a walk with this thing, but it's really good. It's like super accurate. This is what you would use for like street walking videos, hiking videos, moto vlogging, that kind of thing. And then you have Horizon Steady, which is the same thing, but you can never change it. In my opinion, you want either RockSteady or RockSteady Plus. Just looking at this, just straight off the bat, I can tell you that RockSteady Plus crops the frame in even more. So I would basically just not use that and just use RockSteady because it's good enough. So swiping up gets the quality, resolution, frame rates. Swiping down gets you like the main menu. So you have here, you can save things to the memory, different settings. Quick switch is this button. So if you want to just like tap that once, you can change modes. So you can tell it what you want to change to when you click that button. Brightness, in my opinion, you don't even need brightness. Just turn it off or turn it on to like 10%, save some battery. Settings, snapshot is what happens when when the camera's off and you press this record button once. And so what happens is when you press this once, it will turn on and start filming. And then when it's finished filming, when you stop it with this button, it stops filming, saves it, and then turns off. So it saves you a lot of time. It's very easy to use. Voice control, scuba diving mode. I'm not sure why there is a scuba diving mode because it's already waterproof, but anyway. And then this is the Wi-Fi settings. Video compression, you can choose different styles. So I like to do compatibility because then it works with more things. Sounds, I normally mute them. And yeah, naming management is quite cool. If you have multiple cameras, you can decide what to name the files. Like when you upload the files, you can name them as something specific. It's useful, especially if you have multiple like DJI devices or I don't know, multiple cameras or something. And then you can customize everything. So like the LED when the camera is on, see the green LED, you can turn that on and off. And the same thing at the front. Auto power off. If you want the screen to be on while you record, so you can see what you're recording, or if you want it to just turn off after 3 seconds. Yeah, calibration, language, the usual stuff, So that's that settings. Then you have portrait lock, which I will now have on because I like it horizon only. Screen lock, and you can unlock the screen with a swipe up. Voice control, toggle, and then this is the front screen, toggling on and off. So what I will do now is I will do some test footage. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of put some test footage on and I'll probably talk to the camera as I'm doing the footage. So yeah, but yeah.